everyone's different. What's your talents and gifting? You are unique in your own way. Don't you mind what people say? So shine your colors bright, shining brighter than ever, and live your best life and do whatever you want. Shake, shake those haters off, off. You're an eagle so soar, soar and rise above. Shine bright, show all your colors. You're not a carbon copy, so show them what you shine bright. Live a vibrant life, live vibrant with Sandra. Shine bright, show all your colors. You're not a carbon copy, so show them what you shine bright. Live the vibrant life, live vibrant with Sandra V.
Hi and welcome to Vibrant. I'm your host Sandra V, and I'm so excited that you chose to tune in with us today. Man, we have an awesome guest here in studio with us, and his story is about to blow your mind. We have with us today none other than Steven Russell Harts. You know him as a part of that legendary group Troop. So help me welcome Steven Harts. Steven. Woo!
How you doing?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show today. And we are so excited to share your story with the audience today. So now, as I was checking you out, I discovered that you began your career at Venice Beach.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because I know how it is when you go to Venice Beach and you see these different acts, and I'm sure they're all trying to make it. You know what I mean? What was that like for you?
Well, at the time that I was going to Venice Beach, it was just a performance place. People were just coming to display their craft, and a lot of the Soul Train dancers used to be down there every weekend. And my aunt, I was just a dance fanatic at a young age, and my aunt Kat, she would take me to Venice Beach because she knew the dancers, the popular people were there, and she was like, when will you mess around and get discovered out here or something, you know? But she would take me out there, and she would push me out there to dance against these grown men, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
Sure did.
And so how did it come about that someone actually saw you out there, or?
No, nothing ever came from that except for the experience of dancing with great people and just having that experience of being scared but really having to go ahead and get down, you know. It's a great experience.
Yeah, and then I understand you were inspired a lot as a child by watching Michael Jackson. So is that where a lot of the dance moves and stuff, or that inspiration for dance came?
By the time I started emulating Michael Jackson, I think I was like 12 when that actually started. I was dancing. I mean, I was making money dancing at 10 in the summertime, going to Texas with my grandma. I used to go to clubs, sneaking clubs and dance and make money. So I had been dancing long before I got into Michael Jackson, but emulating Michael Jackson made it the experience of getting from people different. Because when I would perform Michael Jackson, it was different. People loved it.
The energy.
Yeah, the energy. You hit it. The energy of doing Michael Jackson was different than just going on stage dancing, you know? And that's what really gave me the bug for wanting to be an entertainer, a singer.
Wow. Did you ever, when you were doing some of those things, really think that you would really make it?
Well, I didn't. While I was imitating Michael Jackson and going around doing shows, doing that, I wasn't into myself then. I was into that. You know, I was young. I was little Mike. I was Mike to me. You know, it was only after I stopped doing that I started considering what I wanted to be. You know, I was always playing football or baseball, so I knew sports was in my career in some way. But like I said, after experiencing that praise from doing Michael Jackson, I really had a bug for wanting to be a singer, you know. But I was really shy.
Okay.
So I didn't know how that was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to say, how did you transition?
Well, I had drama at PHS at this time. I was in high school, and Mr. Franco asked me, my drama teacher asked me, what did I want to be? And I told him I wanted to be a singer.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, oh, really? So, you know, he said, okay, everybody, it's cleanup time. Steve's getting ready to sing us a song. Like in front of the whole...
He just threw you out there.
Man.
Threw you under the bus.
Oh, man.
You got your feet
and
wet.
I had to sing every day.
Are you kidding me?
Each and every day, I had to sing in front of the drama class at cleanup time.
Wow.
And it's funny how things work, because shortly after that was when I got introduced to Rodney and introduced to the whole group thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I wasn't shy at that point.
Okay, so he helped you work all those kinks out.
No question.
Wow. And you know what? It's wonderful when people come in your life and they serve a purpose like that. Yeah. You can always look back and see that was the place you kind of springboarded.
No question.
Yeah. So now, how did Troop come about, and how did you guys select that name?
Well, the name came years after the group Five of a Kind manifested. Rodney, the founding member of the group, Rodney and Reggie, went on a TV show called Putting on the Hits. It's
I remember that show.
And they were doing Cool It Now by New Edition. And they won. You know, and another funny thing, at this time, a good friend, a mutual friend of me and Rodney's, rest in peace, one of my best friends, named is Hanji. He was instigating stuff between me and Rodney the entire time of that semester when he would catch me and Rodney together. Steve, you can't slap, Rodney, you can't slap box better than Steve. Or you can't. He was always having me and Rodney challenge. And I knew Rodney from school, but we wasn't tight. But I knew him from playing basketball. So anyway, just from that, Rodney started telling me about the show he was going on. You got to watch it. You know, he would come back and say, we won, you know. So anyway, he came one day. I was looking for him. We were always doing big talent shows in Pasadena, and the person putting on the talent show, Valerie, she was like, man, I want to get that group, you know. I said, yeah, I know Rodney, I'll get him. So I was looking for him about the talent show, and when I saw him, he was looking for me.
You
right. So a producer saw the show and wanted to know if they could really sing, and that's why he came to me like, man, we got to put some singers in our group, man. Somebody saw the show, man, and I just wanted to know if you wanted to be in the group, man. You got to talk to my mom. And I was like, okay. So I started calling his house, but his mother would just hang up in my face. He's in rehearsal.
Oh no!
They rehearsal. You know, I mean, he was serious about practice. And then, you know, finally I told him at school, you know, I've been calling your house, and I was like, your mom just hang up on me, bro. I said, somebody
let her know. Yeah, let her know. Try to get in.
He's like, oh, he told his mom. So I called finally, and she answered, and she came, and I sang Lady I Love You by O'Brien. I sang that in front of the school, and that's how I got in the group.
Wow.
And it was I think it was Five of a Kind. Right then and there, we were Five of a Kind.
So originally, that was the name of the group. Yes. And then how did you guys select Troop?
Well, we had a deadline. Once we got our record deal, 4 years later, once we got our record deal, we were called The Guys. We had changed the name to The Guys. And a group called Guy was coming out that had a release date before ours, so we had to change our name. And we had a dance called Troop that we did. And so I was like, let's just be Troop, man. And the guy on the phone, the record label, Merlin Bob, rest in peace, he was like, yeah, that's dope, that's it. And then Alan came up with the Total Respect of Other People. And so that stuff, that's just what it was.
Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, you guys have reached a lot of, like, number 1 and 2, I think, on the R&B Billboard charts and stuff like that. Yeah, what was that experience like?
We've actually had 1, 2, 3 number 1s and about 3 top 10s. It was wonderful. You know, I'm working on a documentary right now about my experience in Troop, And I'm looking at all of that footage and seeing us on charts and looking at the charts and who was all in that top 10, that top 15. We were killing, man.
You were.
You know, it was
I'm
pretty
serious,
awesome.
yeah.
Pretty awesome experience.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just like so jazzed to be sitting here because, you know, when you get to hear people's music on the radio, you've danced and partied to it, and then to actually meet, you know, someone who was putting that music out like that. It's just really an honor, you know, to have you. Now, you're also a songwriter.
Yes.
So you've evolved from dancing and then your singing career. How did you transition your songwriting capabilities into the industry?
Well, when we were working on Five of a Kind, when we were getting songs and demos together before we ever became Troop or got a record deal, we used to get songs from publishing companies, but we didn't really like those songs, and we didn't know where the songs were coming from. We just know they were just okay, some of them. So our manager, David Cook, he was like, man, well, then you got to start writing your own songs. I'm like, writing our own songs, man. How are we going to get a hit writing our own songs? That was my attitude.
Right.
But Alan was an excellent songwriter, so he was just like, oh, man, I'll show you how to write songs. Don't even worry. Just get us the music. We'll write it. And that's how Alan was the one who embraced me and taught me. He was patient with me and taught me how to write songs. And that's how I got started. And that was well before we got signed. So I've been writing songs since I was 15.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And then speaking of that, I know that you've collaborated with a lot of the A-lists in the industry. So who were some of the people that you've written for or collaborated with, projects you worked on? Well, I know it's real extensive.
Yeah, my very first project, The Whispers gave me my first break.
What?
Yeah, and when I was 18 years old, we were working in the studio together, and they heard something I was working on, and Scotty came over and was like, hey man, we want that, whatever it is. And I was like, you can definitely have it.
Now, which song was that?
This is a song called Big Misunderstanding on the More of the Night album. And that was my first break as a producer. That went gold. And then I had a song on the upcoming Troop Attitude album, our second album, and that album went platinum. So it was like, and then since then, you know, since all that time, I've produced on B2K, Chris Brown, Mario. I got a Grammy of Jennifer Hudson, Chris Brown.
So many of
Charlie
them.
Wilson, one of my idols. You know, he's an idol of mine, like Michael Jackson.
I was listening to him this morning.
Yeah, I was blessed to work with Charlie. I was blessed to work with Aretha Franklin. I've worked with some of everybody. Donnell Jones, good friend of mine. Sierra, Jordan Sparks.
Wow, that's got to be humbling.
Yeah, it is for me.
To be sitting, you know, because you mentioned Aretha.
Yeah.
You mentioned Charlie Wilson. I mean, that's got to be humbling to, when I think of Aretha Franklin, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Wow, what was that like?
It was wonderful because she's so down to earth. It's like you know her already. You know, she's no joke. You know, she's no joke, man. It's like you know her already. And when I was cutting her vocals, I was calling her sweetie. You know, I was kind of nervous. I was like, okay, one more time, sweetie, one more time. And she was kind of got irritated with it. You know, she's like, just call me Ree. Just call me Ree. I was like, okay, Ree. Okay, Ree.
So that helped you to relax, of course.
Exactly, yeah. But
yeah.
That was just wonderful. That was just a wonderful experience working with her.
Hi, it's Coach Sandra V, and I am here to remind you that as your personal life coach, I am available to help you to put together processes and steps of doable plan that will help you to progress toward your personal goals. So give me a call and let's get coaching.
It's possible.
my heart sing to my surprise. You're so incredible, unbelievable.
Hello, my name is Damon Jones, real estate broker and owner of Purpose Real Estate Company, your commercial and residential real estate specialist. We're also certified with the National Commercial Real Estate Association. Please give us the opportunity to earn your trust when you're ready to purchase, sell, or invest in commercial or residential real estate. Our phone number is 562-688-6279. Visit our website at purposerealestate.com. We'll always follow up with you and stand by our word, because integrity, it's our foundation. We look forward to being of service to you. Thank you.
We have used Damon on real estate transactions for the past 20 years, and without a doubt, he is the best in the business.
You're on stage singing and dancing, you're writing, producing. How do you balance all that? Is there one that you maybe enjoy more, or how do you balance all that?
Well, I started off as an artist. I started off, like I said, with emulating Michael Jackson and getting that love for that. So that poured over into me being the lead singer of Troop. So there's nothing like the praise. There's nothing like people crying over your music and loving you just because they saw you on TV or because they love your song. I mean, there's nothing compares to that. So I always love that, but I also love just as much creating something from nothing. I love seeing a fresh young artist like Chris Brown at 14. The record company is geeked up because they know they got a star. And I come from a boy band, so I know I'm going to give them something hot.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I was exposed to Ready for the World, Switch, The Barn. I got it all in me. We ready, so I've always loved creating something from nothing. And I love them both equally. I'm an artist as well. I draw as well, so I love all of those talents that I'm expressing equally. The art, the music, and the performing. I love it equally.
Right. We saw you recently at the MLK festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we saw you guys out there, and you guys were rocking it, and the crowd was rocking with you. Yeah, your career is just so extensive. You've also contributed to many films that are out there and I'm thinking, a lot of people probably know you as lead singer of Troop, but they're not realizing all the stuff that you have done behind the scenes that they've enjoyed.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of want to highlight some of that.
Yeah.
So I know New Jack City, but there were other films.
Yeah. I've done the writing and producing outside of Troop longer than I did Troop.
Really?
Yeah. Shark Tale, Kung Fu Panda, Shrek 3.
You did the music for those?
Songs on them.
Really?
Songs, yeah. I have songs on those movies.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch
the
them. I
production
like
company
Shrek.
that I was a part of, the Underdogs. We did all 61 or 62 songs on Dreamgirls.
That's amazing.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When you just sit back, like when you're reflecting on your life, I mean, that's gotta be really surreal to just lay back and say, man, I really did all that? I mean, do you ever just have those kind of thoughts? I really did all that? I really been all those places? I impacted that many people's lives? I mean...
Yeah, when you're reflecting, depending on where you are in your life and the relationship you have with your ego,
okay.
The reflection can be two different ways.
Okay.
But yes, I've reflected and really have I've come to a point to where I appreciate my journey. I've accepted the fact that I did everything that I said I wanted to do and even more.
Wow.
You know, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a star, a celebrity that people loved and loved the music. I did that. And I wanted to be like Babyface. You know, I did that. You know, so yeah. In my reflection, I love it. You know, I love that I've touched people with music. Because that's what I wanted to do, make people feel good. Music was medicine for me and my mom, so I wanted to be medicine. You know? So I'm glad that I did that.
Love it, love it. Not everybody can say that when they lay back and reflect. You know, like you said, I wanted to do that and I accomplished that. I went for this and I accomplished that.
Yeah.
I mean, your story is got to be so inspiring for so many people, because I think everybody would like to sit back and say, yeah, whatever I put my hand to or reach to, I was able to do. Wonderful, wonderful. So now let's talk about your solo career, some of the things that you're doing now. Because you mentioned Little Steven.
Yes, Little Steve.
And some of the other projects that you're doing solo. So share with us some of that.
Well, in 2010, I decided to release my first official solo project called So Random. It's available right now. Steve Russell, that's before my dad.
Okay.
So it's Steve Russell, So Random, which is a pretty good album. I promoted it. I got some airplay on my first single from that album, Bring It Back. Then my second album was called The Wedding Singer. And in between that, I did a new single with Troop called Forever. That's available now. All 5 original members.
Beautiful.
And then I went back in the lab and did The Wedding Singer. My god brother Kevin, you know, he's always got big ideas. We playing pool, and he has all my songs. So he's listening to these songs. Man, you need to do an album called The Wedding Singer. Man, I'm telling you, you can be doing weddings, singing. So anyway,
I agree, because you have a lot of love songs out there.
So I put together a compilation of really, really good songs that didn't get placed on Glenn, you know, the people I was writing for. And I put together The Wedding Singer. And then 2014, I did Swept Away. 2015, I released, no, this is 2019.
Yes.
So 2017, I released Swept Away. My third solo album, which is a more pop-driven album, more guitar, acoustic, you know, driven album produced by MIDI Mafia. And now I'm in the process of working on my fourth solo album, Trapsody. And I'm back on my alias, Lil Steve. I'm back at it.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Tell us about Lil Steve. What is Lil Steve
Lil
like?
Steve is lit, baby. Lil Steve is just lit. He's lit.
So he just gets to do pretty much what he want to do.
No
stuff
rules.
that Steven Russell
would not do.
No. Little Steve can just come on out there and do it.
Yes.
And say it.
Yes.
And you're loving that liberty.
I love it.
That freedom.
I love it. And I'm independent. So it works, you know. The freedom is amazing, you know, and people get to accept it or not. And there's always so many people that's accepting that freedom from you because it gives them freedom too.
Absolutely.
You know, freedom from boxes, little boxes. Look how big this room is. You know, some people's minds are right there, right there. You know,
and they're gonna keep operating right in that same circle.
And the kids too.
Yeah.
They're gonna pass it down.
Wow. So, give me a couple of the titles off of this album that Little Steve is gonna be that he's putting out. Give me a couple of the titles.
That. Okay, we got a song called Big Facts. Out of Your Mind. She Don't Even Know Me. Selfish. All Day, Every Day. Look, I'm naming the whole album.
And I guess I can't ask you to sing a little something.
New hoe.
Oh, no, not that one. Give me something else. No. Now, do we want little Steven? Do we want Steven Russell and we want little Steven?
Oh, man. I don't know what I could sing.
Oh, something. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Spread my wings or something? Look, I'm so shy right now.
Oh, stop it.
I've imagined faces of many lovers to ease the pain of having no one in my life. Now I'm tired of being undercover. It's time to navigate my feelings tonight.
Wow. Wow. See, that's just raw talent. Just raw. No music, no anything. Well, listen, we want to thank you again for taking time out to come here and be on Vibrant and share your journey. And I know that there's others that are going to be inspired to go ahead and not listen to that ego voice that's discouraging them and step out and do the phenomenal that's on the inside of them. The first mind, following that first mind.
Yes.
I got it, and I'm going to take that away from our enemy. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now you have met not only Steven Russell Harts, but you've also seen a little taste of Lil Steve. So be looking out for him because he's doing some great things and spreading his wings. You know what I always say, you were not created to be a carbon copy. So let your unique shine, and we'll see you again right here on Vibrant.
Yeah.
Show all your colors, you're not a carbon copy, so show them what you shine bright. Live your vibrant life, live vibrant with Sandra. Shine bright. Show all your colors, you're not a carbon copy, so show